Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I wanted to talk about payroll for the next few weeks. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sarah Page. I'm the owner and accountant for SAP Virtual Resources. We offer virtual accounting, bookkeeping, payroll services, and I have over 25 years experience in private corporate accounting. Anything from newspaper advertising, which I know is a very different world nowadays, to oil and gas, to janitorial supplies, and for just over 10 years in mechanical construction. So it there's a lot of knowledge among the different industries there. So we work with small businesses, construction, women owned, those that are just getting going to help them learn their books and their financial stories. So back to the next few weeks, I want to cover payroll. That is a big challenge, especially for the small businesses that are just getting going, just getting on their own employees, or not even sure if they should have employees yet because they don't know how to start. So I want to go over some of the basics. And this week it's salary versus hourly employees. What does that mean? So when you're talking salary and hourly, that is just how they are paid. Are they being paid 20 an hour? Are they being paid a certain amount for a pay period for that week? Now, a lot of people, there's some confusion with what salary actually means. Salary does not mean you can't have overtime. That is one of the biggest ones. Salary just means you're telling them, we're not going to worry about hours. We are going to worry about this is how much you get a week. So I will go more into the exempt versus non-exempt for the salaried employees next week so that we're not overwhelmed this week. Salary is good if you are paying someone for their knowledge. Hourly is good when you are paying someone for their time at the job. So if you have in the construction industry, like I usually talk about, a helper that is coming in to help at the job site, clean it up, um, things like that, you're just going to pay him that hourly rate that you agreed on for every hour he's at the job. So if he's there, if he's only shows up for 4 days, you have 8-hour days, and he's there Monday through Thursday and wants Friday off, you're paying him 8 hours for each of those days. Actually, you're paying him what he actually worked for each of those days. I've seen it happen where someone's like, oh, well, our shift is 8 hours, so I'm only paying him 8 hours. But they needed to stay late for a few minutes to clean stuff up. You've got to pay him for that time too. So and then the salary, you're not, maybe you're not worrying so much about if they're in the office or maybe they're a supervisor for 40 hours at for the week. So you're like, you know what? We're just going to offer you 700 a week, and that will be your salary. Now, there can be changes to that if there's sick days, vacation days, stuff like that. But basically, they're making 700 a week. And you're not so concerned if they're in 5 minutes late or they stay 10 minutes. You have a salary amount. And next week, we'll talk about whether they should get extra money if they do stay over. Because you need to make sure that there's some laws regarding that. Who is allowed to not get paid overtime, why, and limitations. So the salary versus hourly discussion is simply how you have agreed with your employee that they can expect their money so they can plan for it. They know if they only worked 32 and a half hours and they're hourly, that they're going to get that $20 an hour for that 32 and a half hours. They know if they're salaried, as long as they're there over the hours that you have decided they need to be there for that salary, that they're getting that amount for the week. So, like I said, next week we'll go into exempt versus non-exempt for the overtime. So make sure you come back and catch that, because that is where a lot of people get in trouble, is thinking that salary means they can't have overtime, and they can. So if you have questions, please reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's make sure that you are doing everything you are supposed to do, are legally required to do, and keep yourself out of trouble. Because I'd hate to see somebody get in trouble because they think they're doing the right thing because they don't know what the actual laws are. So have a great week, and I will see you next Tuesday.